Okay guys, today we're going to be learning how to draw a pumpkin and a mouse. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, taking a pencil and lightly sketch out kind of an oval. And remember, pumpkins are organic. That means they're made with carbon. It means that they don't have to be a perfect shape. They don't have to be perfectly round because guess what? Pumpkins aren't perfectly round. Just make a nice large shape. Remember, make your lines interesting. We can have, and Miss Picard's using a special pen, of course, but play around with different materials. Maybe you really like using markers. Maybe you really like using pencils or Sharpies. Whatever you have. I have used old mascara brushes before to create art. So whatever materials you like, play around with it. You can go back over your lines. Sometimes it's fun to have a couple different lines. Makes it a little sketchier looking. Okay, very cool. Alright, well our pumpkin needs a stem. So you're going to draw a nice long shape up here. And where it meets the pumpkin, it's kind of like a little organic shape, almost like the bottom of a ghost. Okay, and then your stem has some lines on it. You can draw some lines. Okay, looking great. Maybe you'll add a little shadow up here. Ooh, look at that. And you know, sometimes they have those little curly cues. It's just the little pieces of the vine that are still attached. You can add those if you want. You don't have to. Like, I like that one better, so I'm going to erase this one. Remember, you can always erase in your art. Or draw over it, or start over. Sometimes it's okay to start over. Miss Ficara starts over all the time. It's normal. Okay? So now, we are going to draw the ribs of the pumpkin. Out like this, kind of like drawing a beach ball. And then the ones in the center are almost straight. Notice they're not as curved because we're looking at them straight on. And then as we come closer to the edges of the pumpkin, they get more and more curved until they're so super curved they look like the side of a circle. This gives us the illusion that our pumpkin is very round, when really it's flat. But when we draw these lines like this, like on the side, but the lines in the center are pretty straight, it makes us feel like we have a 3D shape, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we have our pumpkin. I'll show you how to do some shading too, but we need a little mouse. So, on top of our pumpkin, or you could do it beside your pumpkin, you could do it in front of your pumpkin, wherever you want your mouse to be, we are just going to draw a teardrop shape. That's it. Our mouse is going to be super simple. And your mouse can be big, your mouse can be small. We need to give our mouse some ears. Nice big round ears. Gonna give my mouse a little eyeball. Gonna give my mouse some hands. I don't know what my mouse is doing. He's just kind of sitting on top of my pumpkin. You can make him, I don't know, doing a little dance or something. Give my mouse a little tail. Okay, so here's my little mouse. Just a really simple little mouse, guys. We could give him some little mouse whiskers. Whoops. There we go. He looks kind of silly. Okay, we have our mouse. And remember, it could be, you could do whatever you want with this, guys. You could give him some little mouse wings. Maybe he's a fairy mouse. Maybe he has a little witch hat. Or she, I don't know what kind of mouse it is. Maybe you want to give him a little hat. I don't know. Whatever you want your mouse to look like. And if you don't want a mouse, you don't have to draw a mouse. And now for those of us who do celebrate Halloween, you can make this a jack-o'-lantern if you want. You could give it some spooky eyes. You might have triangles for eyes. And if, you know what? You don't have to make it a jack-o'-lantern. If you prefer not to, that is okay. You could give it a nice mouth. Like this. Great. Come back in, I'll erase this. Okay, so maybe this is my jack-o'-lantern. And I could come back in and add some color if I wanted to. And I haven't really talked too much about color. I know it is kind of a difficult topic. It really is. It takes lots of time to figure out color, but I just like playing around with colors. You choose what kind of colors you like. So for instance, obviously I'm putting a nice, beautiful, bold orange on my pumpkin. And if I wanted to give the illusion of depth that my pumpkin is 3D, I might take a darker orange. And what I might do is I might actually move my color wheel a little bit to the left here and make it almost red. When we change the hue, it does help us out with creating depth. Okay, so I might do that on the sides, a little bit here. So it looks like it's a little more 3D. And like, this is not perfect. Again, I am not perfect. I am not the perfect artist. This is not the perfect pumpkin. But that's okay. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a fun time drawing this pumpkin, and that is all that matters. Might come in with almost a yellow here. Blend that in. And then the eyes themselves I want to be very yellow, like they're glowing from candle inside. Perfect. And again, you are just drawing whatever you want. If you don't want your pumpkin to be a jack-o'-lantern, it does not have to be. Okay? It is your artwork, which means you get to decide what it looks like. That's the fun thing about art. Alright. And again, this is not the perfect pumpkin. It's not. But Miss Vaccaro is enjoying herself. And stems are usually brown, but they could be kind of almost a greenish brown as well. I might choose a kind of a olivey green. And I'll add some brown in. Alright, here is what my pumpkin is looking like. Let's see if I can make my cutouts look more 3D. Maybe if I had a little bit of... see, I don't even know. Miss Vaccaro doesn't always know what she's doing either. Sure. Okay. Clearly, Miss Vaccaro does not always know what she's doing. Here we go. Anyways, again, this is just fun. It's just fun. Maybe my mouse is... I guess it would be brown. A nice little brown mouse. I'll make him kind of like a tan mouse. I'll give my mouse some little pink ears. I'm pretty happy with this. It's not perfect. Again, Miss Vaccaro didn't say it was perfect. Maybe I'll come back in with my Sharpie or my thicker pen, and I can make my lines a little bit thicker. That might make my drawing a little more interesting. Remember, it's fun to kind of play around with your lines, what it looks like. And again, your face could look different. You could have a much different jack-o'-lantern face than I do. It could be scary. Alright, so anyway, this is my little pumpkin and my mouse. And again, yours probably looks different. That's awesome. I like that. That's what art is. Art means that we all have different stuff going on. We all have different talents. And that's that. Don't forget to sign it because you're going to be famous one day. And it's very important. So your art can sell for lots and lots of money. And have a wonderful weekend, boys and girls.